Yeah, look, obviously very disappointed. I probably had a few days knowing, well, for it to sink in, because obviously in the field I was battling to move around, so it didn't come as a huge surprise yesterday when I found out the results of the scans. Yeah, obviously, very disappointed. Only 2 games into the series to not be able to have a chance to try and turn things around with the team. So it'll be hard, not being a part of it.
Jesse? When you decided to stay out of the field, not in catch positions, and back without a runner, was that partly influenced by the possibility that it could be your last test?
No, not at all. That hasn't even come into the calculations. Basically, I was sore last test as well, but given that we had 3 days in between, it pulled up pretty well. And I went into this test feeling fine, and unfortunately, having spent that amount of time out in the field and chasing the amount of balls that I did, got to the point where it was pretty unbearable to just even be walking around. So that had nothing to do with it. I knew that I had to be out there. I don't like the rule of guys going off the field, because I just think you're there to play the game, and that's always been one of my things. Whether you're injured or not, I think you're out there. Simple as that. So I didn't want to, not be out there. So.
Okay. How determined are you to make sure this isn't the last test? You imagine it will be a tough fight back?
Yeah, look, put it this way, 3 years ago I was told I wasn't going to play again, so this to me is, I don't know how it'll be viewed. I haven't spoken to selectors. I don't know what their thoughts are. All I know is that I'll do everything I can to make sure I get it right. I'm confident I will get it right. I was able to hang in there yesterday and still be able to get out and get a few runs, so I know that I can put myself through the pain, but at the moment, obviously, I've got to do the right thing by not only myself but also the team. So that's why I'm not going to be able to play. But hopefully it'll settle down and I'll do all the right things. And look, obviously my age will be a factor, but I haven't looked at it like that in the last few years, because the last 2.5 years of my career have been my best, regardless of my age. So I don't see that as being the be-all and end-all of whether I make it back or not. There's obviously a lot of factors, but I'll do everything I can to try and play Test cricket again.
John? Simon, what's the diagnosis and what's the recovery?
It's basically, there's a tear in one of the tendons in my Achilles heel. So it's quite similar to what Matty Hayden had a couple of years ago. So the treatment will be pretty similar. I'll be having some blood injections in it tomorrow to get the healing process underway as soon as possible. And then from there, I think it's a matter of resting it to see how it settles down in the next couple of weeks. And then after that, it'll be a case of getting back into doing strength work and then all the rehab work, which will hopefully get me back to a point where I'll be able to run on it, possibly in a month or two's time. There's no set time frame. It all depends on how it pulls up. So, as I said, I pulled up pretty good after the first test, even though I was sore in that one, and that's why I obviously played here. But unfortunately, it went downhill as the game progressed. So that's why the decision's been made. You never know. Who knows? I'll do everything I can. That's for sure. I obviously want to be out there. These opportunities don't come around every day to play in an Ashes series. So, obviously looked at this series as being a pretty big one to be involved in. But we'll wait and see what happens.
Simon, there's no doubting you're encouraged. Everyone knows how tough you are, but did you actually feel before this test match I might not be wrong?
No, I think we sort of, the plan was after Brisbane test, we knew it was sore, and that was obvious throughout that test as well, I guess. But once I had the 3 days in between, it did settle down pretty well. So from our physio's point of view, he was happy with the way it was progressing, and I was fine. As I said, unfortunately, as the innings went on when we were fielding, and having spent 2 days out there, that wasn't the best thing for it, and it got to the point where it became pretty unbearable. So it certainly wasn't a case of me playing when I knew I wouldn't be able to get through.
So I'm probably asking you to blow your own trumpet here, but how big a loss is this to the Aussies? Obviously you've been stable for us, and losing a key player when you're one down, how big a loss will this be for the team?
Oh, look, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other options for the selectors to replace me. I'm certainly not going to trumpet my own abilities, that's for sure. That's not my nature to do that. Look, it's disappointing from my point of view, but I'm sure that someone else will get an opportunity and take it. There are some very good candidates. I'm not sure who the selectors will look at, but there's definitely, obviously, a few candidates there. And yeah, hopefully, I think that was probably the telling factor in this game is our first hour on that first day. And generally, when Watto and I have got us off to good starts, we've set the platform for big scores, and unfortunately that didn't happen, and we paid the price. So there's no doubt opening stands can make a big difference, and hopefully that's something that going forward we can improve on.